Students, today we will discuss about packet switching. What is this packet switching is kind of switching which occurs at the network layer. Whatever is the router is a switch that creates a connection between an input port and output port. What these switching techniques are divided into two broad categories, one circuit switching and another packet switching. Then the packet switching is used at the network layer only. So only packet switching is used at the network layer because the unit of data at this layer is a packet. Then whatever is at network layer, a message from the upper layer is divided into manageable packets and each packet is sent through the network. Source of message sends the packet one by one. One by one, destination of the message receives the packets one by one. Destination waits for all packets belonging to the same message to arrive before delivering the message to the upper layer. Then whatever are the connecting devices in a packet switch network still need to decide how to route the packets to the final destination. A packet switch network today uses two different approaches. One datagram approach, another is virtual circuit approach. Datagram approach is also called as connectionless service and virtual circuit approach is called as connection oriented circuit service. Now we'll see about datagram approach, which is connectionless service. Then we'll see connectionless packet switched network. Okay, so when the internet was started, in order to make it simple, the network layer was designed to provide a connectionless service in which the network layer protocol treats each packet independently, with each packet having no relationship to any other packet. The network layer is only responsible for delivery of packets from the source to the destination. Then whatever are these packets in a message may or may not travel the same path to their destination. When the network layer provides a connectionless service, each packet traveling in the internet is an independent entity. There is no relationship between packets belonging to the same message. So switches in this type of network are called routers. Then whatever is a packet that is belonging to a message may be followed by a packet belonging to the same message, or it may belong to a different message. A packet may be followed by a packet coming from the same or from a different source. Then how many packets are there? Each packet is routed based on the information contained in its header, source and destination addresses. Destination address defines where it should go. Source address defines from where it comes from. Then the router in this case routes the packets based only on the destination address. Source address may be used to send an error message to the source if packet is discarded. So this is a figure that is going to show the forwarding process in a router when used in a virtual circuit network. So you can see the forwarding table: incoming, outgoing, port 1 label L1, port 2 label L2, SA source address, DA destination address, L1 L2 labels. So there is a contain of header, source and destination address in the packet. So this is about datagram approach. So this is a diagram that is showing the forward process in a router when used in a connectionless network. So you can see forwarding table in a connectionless network, destination address AB to output interface 1 to n, SA source address, DA destination address B, send the packet out of interface 2. Then there is a source address, destination address in the header. So this diagram illustrates the forwarding process in a router when used a connectionless network. So this is regarding the datagram approach. Next we will see about virtual circuit packet switch network, which is connection oriented service. So in a connection oriented service, which is virtual circuit approach, there is a relationship between all packets belonging to a message. A virtual connection should be set up to define the path for the datagrams. After connection setup, the datagrams can all follow the same path. Packet must not only contain the source and destination address, must also contain a flow label, a virtual circuit identifier that defines the virtual path the packet should follow in this type of service. So this is a virtual circuit shown by this notation, which is a filled blue line, packets 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you can see the path of the virtual circuit which the packet should follow in this type of service from sender to receiver. A connection oriented packet switched network. Then this diagram illustrates the forwarding process in a router when used in a virtual circuit network. Forwarding table incoming, outgoing, port 1 label L1, port 2 label L2, SA source address, destination address and label. So as I have told, the packet must not only contain the source address and destination address, must also contain a flow label, which is a virtual circuit identifier that defines the virtual path the packet should follow in this type of service. A flow label, which has been shown here, L1 and L2 flow label. Next, there is an assumption in this case. What is that assumption? We will see. Packet carries this label. Packet carries this label. During the data transfer phase, it looks the use of the label may make the source and destination addresses unnecessary. But the part of the internet at the network layer still keep these addresses. What is the reason for this is the part of internet at network layer still keeps these addresses. The use of a label which may make the source and destination unnecessary. The reason is part of the packet path may still be using connectionless service. Protocol at the network layer is designed with these addresses. It may take a while before they can be changed. So this figure is going to show the concept of connection oriented service. You can see this. Based on this label in the packet, each packet is forwarded. So based on the label in each packet, the packet is forwarded. Then assumption again is that packet has a label when it reaches the router. So when the packet arrives at the router, a packet has a label. So what is the value of the label? Based on that, virtual circuit identifier, sometimes called forwarding decision, is made. Then three-phase process is used to create a connection oriented service. What are the three phases used is setup phase, data transfer phase, tear down phase. So these are three phases used to create a connection oriented service. Setup phase. Source and destination addresses of the sender and receiver are used to make table entries for the connection oriented service. Setup phase. Source and destination addresses of the sender and receiver are used to make table entries for the connection oriented service. Tear down phase. source and destination inform the router to delete the corresponding entries. So source and destination inform the router to delete the corresponding entries is tear down phase. Then data transfer occurs between these two phases. Now we'll see setup phase. In setup phase, a router creates an entity for a virtual circuit. Suppose source A needs to create a virtual circuit to destination B. A and B are the symbolic notations used, and source A needs to create a virtual circuit to destination B. Two auxiliary packets need to be exchanged between the sender and the receiver. Request packet and acknowledge packet. What is this request packet? Is a request packet is sent from source to the destination. This auxiliary packet carries the source and destination address. Then what is acknowledgement packet? Is a special packet called the acknowledgement packet completes the entries in the switching table. Data transfer phase, this is second phase, is called data transfer phase. After all routers have created their forwarding table for a specific virtual circuit, then network layer packets belonging to one message can be sent one after another. So data transfer phase, after all routers have created their forwarding table for a specific virtual circuit, then network layer packets belonging to one message can be sent one after another. Tear down phase. In tear down phase, source A, after sending all packets to B, sends a special packet called a tear down packet. Destination B responds with a confirmation packet. All routers delete the corresponding entries from their table. Tear down phase. In tear down phase, source A, after sending all packets to B, sends a special packet called a tear down packet. Destination B responds with a confirmation packet. All routers delete the corresponding entries from their tables. Now we'll see prior to IP version 4 network layer performance. There are certain metrics followed to measure the performance of a network. So the following metrics are used to measure the performance of a network: delay, throughput, packet loss. So what is this delay is? Delay occurs when a packet arrives from its source to its destination. There are four types of delays: transmission delay, propagation delay, processing delay, queuing delay. What is this transmission delays? A source host or a router cannot send a packet instantaneously. A sender needs to put the bits in a packet on the line one by one. If the first bit of the packet is put on the line at time t1 and last bit is put on line at t2, transmission delay of the packet is t2 minus t1. Transmission delay is longer for a longer packet and shorter if the sender can transmit faster. So delay equation is delay TR is packet length by transmission rate. Propagation delay, it is a time it takes for a bit to travel from point A to point B in the transmission media. The propagation delay for a packet switch network depends on the propagation delay of each network, LAN or WAN. The propagation delay depends on the propagation speed of the media, which is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meters per second in a vacuum and normally much less in a wired medium. It also depends on the distance of link. Propagation delay is delay PS is distance by propagation speed. What is this processing delays? It is a time required for a router or a destination host to receive a packet from its input port, remove the header, perform an error detection procedure and deliver the packet to the output port, or delivers the packet to the upper layer protocol. Processing delay may be different for each packet, normally calculated as an average. So delay of processing is time required to process a packet in a router or a destination host. Queuing delay can normally happen in a router. This queuing delay can normally happen in a router. A router has an input queue. A router has an input queue connected to each of its input ports to store packets waiting to be processed. So there is an input queue present in a router which is connected to its input port to store packets waiting to be processed. Router also has an output queue connected to each of its output ports to store packets waiting to be transmitted. The queuing delay for a packet in a router is measured as the time a packet waits in the input sequence and output queue of a router is queuing delay. Delay of queuing is equal to the time a packet waits an input and output queue in a router. Total delay. Assuming equal delays for the sender, routers and receiver, total delay from source to destination is that a packet encounters can be calculated if we know the number of routers n in the whole path. How many number of routers are present in the whole path? If n are the number of routers, then total delay is equal to n plus 1 into delay of TR plus delay of PG plus delay of PR plus n into delay of queuing. If we have n routers, then we have n plus 1 link. If we have n plus 1 transmission delays related to n routers and source n plus 1 propagation delays related to n plus 1 links, n plus 1 processing delays related to n routers and the destination, and only n queuing delays related to n router. Throughput. At any point in a network, it is defined as the number of bits passing through the point in a second. Which is actually the transmission rate of data at that point. In a path from source to destination, a packet may pass through several links, networks, each with a different transmission rate. Throughput is equal to minimum of TR1, TR2 and up to TRN. So we'll see in the next lecture the further classes.